Hey everybody, welcome to Dad Talk. Today we are live at CPAC 2021 here in Dallas, Texas, and I am here with Mr. Randy Weber. Randy, how you doing?
Eric, I'm good. You doing okay?
Yes, sir. So I know you're here from the great state of Texas. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm a United States congressman. I represent the 14th District of Texas, which is the Gulf Coast, starts at Louisiana, that other foreign country, and comes down the coastal counties. We do a lot of energy in our district. My background is I was an air conditioning contractor for 35 years, owned my own company. My bride of 45 years, taught fourth grade 27 years. I grew up and I've lived in a 20-mile radius 68 years. I know this area, I know Texas, I know America. Became a Republican activist in 1983 when Reagan ran for re-election. I became a precinct chair, election clerk, election judge, 6 years on city council, 4 years in the state house, and now United States Congress. So I tell people I'm a working guy, just like y'all, just like any Texans or Americans. Every time I vote, I think about families, I think about business, I think about lower taxes, smaller government, freedom, and the things that made this America country the great country that it is. So every time I do that, I vote for y'all. That's my background.
You know, Randy, you talk about family. We're starting to see the breakdown of the nuclear family. It seems like that's really been a target, especially with the fatherless epidemic going on right now. What do you think is going on inside of that structure right now?
Well, it's sad that people don't take the sacredness of marriage as important as it needs to be. It ought to be one man, one woman for life. Children have to see that. They have to have the stability of the home. That's God's creation, by the way. It's His design. And so if you have and I tell people when I talk, I say strong family, strong neighborhood, strong community, strong city, strong state, strong America. The fact that we've got so many fatherless homes, we are reaping the reward of that right now. Children don't grow up with both parents with a male figure that instills in them pride, a workability, a sense of purpose, and responsibility. And we're suffering from that right now.
Oh, we definitely are. You know, the fatherless epidemic is bigger than ever. Even in the African-American household, we're nearing 80% that are not in the home with their children. 1 in every 3 children in the United States are without their dad.
Right.
Right now, the one thing that's not really talked about when you see it on the mainstream media and people are talking about the fatherless epidemic, divorce is a $55 billion industry. And then, you know, I think it's a very common thing to hear people say men need to step up. They need to just get in the homes. Well, that's them stepping up. They're
right.
paying and they're trying to get in the lives of their kids, but
right.
These courts are jacked.
Yeah, and it's hard. I get it. It's hard for the separated dads and the divorced dads to get their rights in a lot of instances. Unfortunately, there are a lot of deadbeat dads that give the rest of them a bad name in that respect. But I will tell you, marriage, whoever says marriage is a 50-50 proposition doesn't know the half of it,
right.
Okay? Because it's 110 and 110. It takes sacrifice. It takes commitment. You know, I've been married on November 6th, will be our 45th wedding anniversary. And has it always been easy and smooth and just glide path easy? No, it's been hard. It's been difficult. But people ask me all the time, Randy, how's it that you and Brenda have managed to make it 45 years of marriage? I tell them 2 things. Number 1, we put Jesus at the center of our marriage. And number 2, I told her a long time ago, if she ever leaves me, I'm going with her. So there was no out, right? We were in it for the long run. That's commitment. You need that commitment from people.
We see close to half of our marriages are ending in divorce, and there is a new trend now where kids, when getting together, they're not getting married anymore.
Yeah.
They're just cohabiting, and then they break up, and then it just feeds the family court monster even more. Why do you think marriage has came under such scrutiny and people are starting to shy away from it?
Well, I tell you what, unfortunately, the liberals, the left, have trampled on our God-given ability to stay married. And what I mean by that is, if we follow biblical principles, one man, one woman for life, committed for life, and sacrificing to each other for life. I'm a Christian. If you read the Bible, it says that Paul calls for husbands to love their wives as he loved the church. And that takes sacrifice. That takes commitment. It takes work. And the fact that more of these young kids are looking at the arguing going on and they're looking at their parents who aren't willing to stay with that, it's a bad role model. Parents split up, kids say, you know what, marriage is not worth it. And I tell you, as parents need to have a lot of give and take, a lot of love and patience, and then show that commitment to their kids. They're willing to stick it out. They're willing to do whatever it'll take. If you need to, sit down with your kids and admit your shortcomings. Look, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. You heard me and your mother arguing, and so I got a little heated. She got a little heated. We've kissed. We've loved. We've made up. Don't worry about us. We're sticking together, and we want you to know that it's okay to disagree, but stick together at any cost.
You know, Randy, anybody that I've talked to that's had a marriage, you know, kind of like you, that's went for a while, always said the same thing. Was it always roses? No, we had our fights. But if you look at Hollywood, you see these depictions of all these fireworks and all this different stuff. Marriage is going to be a lot of hard times.
That is.
And that's not to say that it's because of the couple or because they're not compatible. Heck, if me and you or anybody stayed in the same room and lived together for a long time, that's bound to happen. But
chances are you'd be wrong in a lot of things.
Well, and that's right. And Hollywood makes it look like, you know, it's going to be all roses. But you know what? Marriage is about those hard times and that commitment and that saying, look, I know times are getting rough, but I'm not going to give up on you. I want to put the work into that. I want to make it work. That's what marriage is. And I think the beauty behind marriage has just been completely decimated by society.
Well, it is the beauty that's been decimated, Eric. And the fact of the matter is, if people could hear this and accept this, the beauty of marriage in many instances is not that it takes parents to make children, but a lot of times it takes children to make parents.
That's right.
You have children, OMG, they're going to test you, they're going to put you through all kinds of ringers, but that's okay. The joy is, if I dare say it, in the battle, lovingly battle, in the fight, stay together, make this happen, go through the hard times. My bride sitting over here will tell you, when we go through hard things, Hurricane Ike, for example, 2008, our fence was down, our roof shingles were off, trees were down, we were without power, and I grabbed her in my arm and I said, you know what, honey? There's nobody on the face of the planet I'd rather go through this with this than you. It's about the fight. It's about a journey. And not only that, but it's about teaching your kids the same principle. It's about a journey. Stick with it. Have commitment and be committed to the long run and work. And then a lot of grace and forgiveness. Mark Twain said it's best to enter marriage with both eyes open, and then after marriage, keep one about half closed.
That's right. Well, you know, kids need those good examples, and right now I feel like our education system became an indoctrination system. And they need these good examples at home, and then we're seeing so many single-parent households where, you know, sometimes they might not even have that one parent.
Right.
And these kids are, you know, I really feel like the left has targeted them. They have become a target, and it's that breakdown of the family. It's a planned agenda.
Yeah.
What can we do as a nation to really start fighting back about putting that nuclear family back together and getting back to our roots?
Well, as I said in my earlier comments when I spoke here at CPAC, I'm a Christian. Our country was founded on Christian Judeo principles, plain and simple, and it was about that. Love for each other, grace, mercy, devotion to God, staying together. Schools have kicked the leftists, the liberals have succeeded in kicking prayer out of school, the Bible out of school, 10 Commandments out of school, and in many instances even the Pledge of Allegiance out of school. And so my thing is, look, if I was in charge of making plans, I'd put the Bible back in school, I'd put the 10 Commandments back in school. It's up on the walls of the Supreme Court. Prayer, Pledge of Allegiance. Teach kids that the base foundation of a family is the country that's built on Judeo-Christian principles. It's just that simple. We need to get back to that.
We do.
And so we've done all that, kicked all that out of school. Now we've got more school violence and more school shootings and more disrespect from the teachers that, like I said, my bride taught fourth grade 27 years. More disrespect than ever before, we think. And we've tried to kick God out and replaced him with metal detectors, drug sniffing dogs, armed police officers, and now critical race theory, CRT. Aren't we smart? And then people are wondering, what's going wrong? It's unbelievable.
But you know, when I was younger, I can remember my brother and his friends going to school, and they all had the gun racks in their truck. with their shotguns,
Sure,
and now guns are the problem.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm a gun owner, Eric, and I've got plenty of guns. I'll do it that way. And do you know, a surprise, I've never had a single gun jump off the shelf and shoot anybody. And what I tell people is guns don't cause crime any more than computers cause pornography. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's what you do with that instrument. It may be used for good, for protection, or it can be used for bad. So, and you know what? Criminals don't care about the laws. You make more and more laws, making it more difficult for people who abide by the law to get guns. The criminals will just go hog wild with guns, and you're already seeing it. The Democrats are working on defunding the police. A lot of those cities that are controlled by Democrats, and the crime is up like unbelievable. You're already seeing that.
All right. Mr. Weber, tell everybody where they can keep up with you.
Well, my website is www.randyweber.org. That is my website. They can find me at www.randyweber.org. Y'all go on there, sign up for our newsletter. We'd appreciate hearing from you, and just love what you guys are doing.
Hey, Mr. Weber, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey everybody, Eric Carroll here. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Dad Talk Today. While we fight for you, we would ask for you to please help fight for us. Like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so you get notifications every time we go live. There's also super chats, patreon.com/dadtalktoday, and other ways you can support our channel. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next time.